Okay. Commissioner Rippon, you're not muted.
Good. I will mute.
Just try to keep you from saying things about the county clerk is all.
I'll thank you. I'll mute. Cindy, I see all the commissioners are here in the office. It seems strange we just don't go in the other room, but anyway,
Hey,
just an observation. Just an observation.
Just an observation.
Okay, looks like we're all here. Good morning. Welcome to the January 24th meeting of the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm joined this morning by Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2, and also by Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1. I'm Aaron Mays. I'm the chairman this year, and I represent District 3. Due to COVID-19, we're conducting our regular meeting in a virtual format today. Please mute your phone or computer until it's time for you to speak. Each time that you do speak, please try to announce who is speaking at any particular time. If you're a member of the public and you need accommodation to listen or participate in this meeting, please contact the County Commission office. The number is 785-251-4040, or you can also email the Commission office at commission.mail@snco.us. Now I'd like to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Madam Clerk, first item, please.
First item today is item 3, consent agenda.
We have several items on the consent agenda.
I'll move for approval.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook. I will second. Second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
All right, our voucher report highlights for January 24th, 2022, under Election Commissioner, paid with ARPA and SLFRF funds, Election Systems and Software LLC, $68,850 for the purchase of electronic poll book system. Also under the Election Commissioner, Election System Software LLC, again totaling $24,688.28 for media stick for ballot tabulator. Under Inmate Cantina and Sheriff's Office, check to Vallejo Behavioral Health Care totaling $20,000 for the 2022 Vallejo Crisis Responder. And that is it for the vouchers. If anybody has any questions, seeing none, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Okay, I'll move for approval of correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C14-2022, an 8-year agreement between Invista Credit Union, Parks for All Foundation, and Shawnee County Parks and Recreation, officially recognizing the name change from the Lake Shawnee Girls Softball Complex to Invista Softball Complex, with donations to be deposited into the Parks for All Foundation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Director, Parks and Recreation Department. Very excited this morning to announce this partnership between the county and the Parks for All Foundation and Invista Credit Union. Invista has stepped up and offered to essentially partner with us at the Lake Shawnee Girls Softball Complex. As the clerk said, this is an 8-year agreement, and it totals $440,000 that will go into the Parks for All Foundation. That will help us not only at the Lake Shawnee Girls Complex, which will now be the Invista Softball Complex, but throughout our Parks and Recreation system. So I do have with me today CEO Ron Smeltzer and also Chief Business Development Officer Tara Dimmick. And if either of you would like to say any words, this would be a great time.
Well, thank you very much for that. Part of Invista's core values are working to lead, inspire, and impact our community. And when Tara recommended that we get involved in this, we felt like that was a really great way for us to do that. Invista represents 45,000 members, most of whom are in Shawnee County, as well as 180 employees and their families. And we feel a very genuine sense of responsibility to help make Shawnee County a place where people really want to live, work, and play. And we believe this is an excellent way to do that. So we are very honored to be able to participate in this effort. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Ron. I just, again, I just can't tell you how much this means to us and how much these funds will do for this community and especially the kids that use this complex and all of our other facilities. So thank you. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, I think it's great to see this, involvement with our Parks and Rec. And I think it's fantastic to see this, and appreciate your support. I would go ahead and move that we authorize and execute the contract with Invista.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Item B2, consider approval of resolution number 2022-9, authorizing the operation of Class 1 and 2 electric assisted bicycles, e-bikes, on established Shawnee County Parks and Recreation trails.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Director, Parks and Recreation Department. So we started this process, that's been many months ago. Our advisory board played a key role in this, in investigating the e-bikes and what we thought would be appropriate for the trails here in Shawnee County. We are recommending that we allow Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes to use our trails. And without getting too far in the weeds here, the difference between Class 1 and Class 2 is basically Class 1 has a motor that provides assistance, but you have to pedal the entire time. That doesn't have a throttle. That's Class 1, and it'll reach a speed of 20 miles per hour. And then Class 2 actually does have a throttle. So if you're pedaling and you can't pedal anymore, or you have some sort of special needs, that this allows you to get out on the trails, and you could only use the throttle to propel yourself, but it limits your speed again to 20 miles an hour. There is one more class, which is the Class 3. That is essentially the same as the Class 2, but it goes to a maximum speed of 28 miles per hour. So we're, again, recommending that we allow Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes on our trails, and we make a change to our county resolution to allow this. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Tim? So Tim, I know that the advisory board for Parks and Rec worked pretty hard on this issue. And this was their recommendation, the Class 1 and 2 then?
Correct. And we did have many other folks from the community come. We had attendees to several of our meetings. We actually had one of the participants bring an e-bike to the meeting, and then we had a chance to go out in the parking lot afterwards and ride it around a little bit. So there's been quite a bit of community engagement in this process.
Okay. Commissioner Ripa? You're on mute.
Tim, I have a question about something like an ATV that might be on the trail. Is there anything that prevents something like that from being on the trail? I know we have some signs say no motorized vehicles, but if you have, these are obviously motorized vehicles. So how does that all work together?
Right, we're not allowing any motorized vehicles other than Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes. So we'll have to continue to try to keep motorized vehicles off the trails the way we do now, which is our parks police trying to track those people down. And you are subject to a $100 fine if you're on one of our trails in a motorized vehicle that's not allowed. So, but it does create a little bit of an enforcement issue in that it's a little bit difficult to tell a Class 1 or 2 from a Class 3 at a distance. They are stickered. They do say there are differences, but it will be a little bit tricky, I think, for our parks police.
Do we have anything that says a motorized wheelchair is allowable?
And not that I know of, but I think in this agreement, it does talk about 2-wheel or 3-wheel e-bikes. I don't believe we say anything about wheelchairs. Obviously, we're not going to enforce that. We would allow wheelchairs on our trails. And that might be in the resolution. I don't have the full resolution in front of me, but that was not discussed as part of this process.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is Jim Krause, Shawnee County Counselor. We do not prohibit motorized wheelchairs. That's not considered a motorized vehicle. It's not a vehicle under our rules. So a motorized wheelchair would be allowed. The reason why we have to adopt a resolution authorizing the use of e-bikes is because of our current rule that prohibits motorized vehicles.
Is there anything that talks about horsepower, anything like that on motorized vehicles? I'm just afraid we're going to have somebody saying that I because of some disability or something, I need to drive an ATV down the trail, and how do we prevent something that big and powerful going down our trail? Do we have any kind of limit?
Commissioner, this is Jim Krause again. We've already had that happen. We've already dealt with that, and we've already denied that. It's just not allowed. You don't have to. If you have a disability, there are ways to access our trail and use it without using an ATV or other motorized vehicle that would be unsafe for the other participants of the trail.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and move for approval of this.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B3, consider authorization and execution of contract C15-2022 with Modern Masonry LLC to award bid for masonry services at West Lawn Memorial Gardens at a cost not to exceed $21,850 with funding available in the West Lawn Memorial Gardens Enterprise Fund.
Morning again, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Director, Parks and Recreation Department. So we do have several monuments and our entry wall as you pull into West Lawn that need repair. So we did get the 3 informal bids, and we would like to go with the lowest bidder, which is Modern Masonry. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Tim?
Don't have any. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B4, consider authorization and execution of contract C16-2022, amendment number 3 to contract C243-2018 with Tailor Made Company for 2022 price increase to pour in place safety surfacing and request permission to solicit bids in 2022 for such supplies and services beyond the current year.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department, Director. We've had a long relationship with Tailor Made, and they, like many other of our vendors and really everybody, has been hit hard by this pandemic and the price increases that they faced. So we would like to allow for this pricing change for the remainder of the year. And then we would then rebid this after the beginning next year. So again, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions for Tim?
I would move for approval. Second.
Your choice, Commissioner.
We'll take a motion by Commissioner Rippon and a second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B5, consider authorization and execution of contract C17-2022, amendment number 3 to contract C99-2019 with Designasaur for continued service of 2022 concept design and layout of Parks and Recreation guide, not to exceed $5,000 per guide and $1,500 total for secondary brochures utilizing the department's operation budget.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. It's appropriate, I think, during Dino Days and everything that's about to happen that we're talking about Designasaur and the work they do for us. This organization is who we contract with to produce our activity guide. So again, I have a good relationship with them. We'd like to extend this one more year. and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions about Designosaur?
I was out at the Great Overland Station last week, and it's exciting to see all those crates arriving. It's going to be fantastic, I think.
We have 2 more big trucks coming today, so staff were heading out there as I was getting on this meeting.
And it seems the weather's a little bit nicer today than it was last week, so. I would go ahead and move that we authorize and execute the contract with Designosaur.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item C, Weed Department, number 1, consider the following requests for approval. Number 1, authorization and execution of contract C18-2022 with Enterprise Fleet Management for the lease of one 2022 Ford Explorer administrative vehicle, adding $505.96 per month to existing lease payments. Number 2, sell a 2009 Ford Ranger through Purple Wave auction. 3, surplus to Public Works a 2011 Ford F-250 with spray equipment in trade of a 1990 Chevy C30 to sell at Purple Wave auction. Proceeds from these sales are to be deposited into the Weed Department Capital Outlay Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Landon, Shawnee County Weed Department. Video. Anyway, Director, Shawnee County Weed Department. I would just add this request will take care of our vehicle needs for the foreseeable future. I would also note the result in this would put an overall reduction to our fleet price. And I'd be to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for John?
I think I caught most of it, but I understand what we're doing. In the end, this is reducing the payments, I believe.
Would you agree with that,
Sorry,
John?
Commissioner Cook. I didn't get him. I need his question.
Okay, we're having a hard time hearing you, John, but I think we all sort of understand what's going on here. We're moving some vehicles around within the county and going to lease a new vehicle and get rid of some other ones through Purple Wave. So with that, I would go ahead and make a motion that we authorize and execute the contract with Enterprise and then sell the other 2 vehicles.
And Commissioner, that will be an increase of $505.96 to their monthly lease as opposed to a decrease.
Okay.
Reducing the fleet.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item D, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Hill regarding the purchase of uninterrupted power supply batteries in the amount of $54,171 to be funded by the ARPA and SLFRF funds.
Morning, Commissioners. Under Sheriff Hoover, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. We're looking to replace 5 UPS batteries. The life expectancy is typically 5 years, and these batteries were manufactured in October of 2016. Just continuity of operations, keep our towers up and everything up and running. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for the undersheriff? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 5, administrative communications.
Okay, this is an opportunity for any members of the public or department heads to speak on any issue you'd like. Anyone wishing to speak? Okay, Commissioner Cook.
I don't have anything new for today.
All right, Commissioner Rippon.
Exciting weekend for sports. If you're a Chiefs fan, it's great. And there was a gal that plays for Kansas State, Ioka May. She set the NCAA record for points scored in a game. It was over 60 points. Amazing performance. So anyway, but the Chiefs game was probably the most exciting game I've ever watched. It was unbelievable. So.
Yeah, it sure was. Ichabod's also had a buzzer beater game against Emporia State, which is always nice to see.
Yep.
I know that the Sunflower Showdown was exciting. Happy for some, sad for others, but still a good game nonetheless.
It was a good.
I don't have anything to add. Oh, Tim, you got something to add, or you're just rock chalking? Okay. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
Okay, we don't have a need for executive session today. So with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, guys.